On September 12, 2013, Janet Mills was carpooling to work. Her passengers were Danny Bogney, he was sitting in the back, and Megan Thompson, Janet's co-worker and lifelong best friend. Megan was sitting in the passenger seat. Janet got a notification on her phone, picked it up to look at it, then it happened. The resulting horrific crash left her best friend Megan dead. For years, Janet couldn't forget this incident. No restful sleep, deep depression, and it really took a toll on her health. She even had to quit her job because she couldn't stand to look at Megan's empty desk any longer. Her life was ruined. However, 2 months ago on May 18th, Janet woke up without a single memory of this incident. So how did she erase the memory of the darkest moment of her life, being responsible for the death of her best friend Megan? Let's take a look. Would you erase your worst memory? How would your life change if you could? Think about it. The betrayal that broke your trust. The night that haunts you every time you close your eyes. The childhood trauma that shaped who you are. What if you could just delete it all? No pain, no trauma, like it never happened. And if we forget our pain, what else do we lose? What memories are connected? And if memory can be manipulated, could you ever trust your memory again? I'm going to get into the science of memory because I want you to understand what they're doing. It's all kind of nerdy, but just stick with me here for a bit. Memory, at its core, is a system that allows us to encode, store, and retrieve information. It involves 3 main stages: encoding, storage, and retrieval. These processes are not linear, but rather a dynamic interplay between different brain regions and types of memory. In 2014, MIT neuroscientists implanted a false memory in mice and then erased it using light. This is called optogenetics. It has been a powerful tool in understanding memory consolidation by allowing researchers to precisely control the activity of specific neurons in the brain. This technique enables the manipulation of neural circuits involved in memory formation, helping to identify which neurons and connections are crucial for consolidating memories. By activating or inhibiting these neurons with light, researchers found that memories could be manipulated, erased, or implanted. Other researchers have used propranolol to dampen the emotional intensity of traumatic memories in PTSD patients. This approach, sometimes referred to as reconsolidation therapy, aims to weaken the emotional component of traumatic memories without necessarily erasing the memory itself. Propranolol, a beta-adrenergic receptor blocker, can impair both memory consolidation and reconsolidation, particularly for emotionally charged memories. This effect is achieved by interfering with the noradrenergic system, which plays a role in memory formation and retrieval. Neuralink, the brain-computer interface company, is developing technologies that could potentially interface with human memory in various ways, including restoring lost memories, enhancing existing ones, and even enabling the recording and replay of memories. Scientists can now study how memories are stabilized and transferred from short to long-term storage. It all reminds me of a movie, The Manchurian Candidate, about a soldier named Raymond Shaw who was brainwashed into becoming an unwilling assassin by communists during the Korean War. Here's a clip from that movie trailer.
You need to get help, Ben.
I'm not crazy, Shaw.
Raymond, this is J.B. Johnston of Manchurian Global.
We're strong supporters.
At a flick of a switch, we can adjust character, change personality.
These are not supposed to exist.
Raymond Prentice Shaw. Listen.
What a great clip. And actually, it's a really great movie. I've got a link in the description. In rats, UCLA scientists have injected enzymes to weaken fear memories altogether. Researchers at the University of California have developed a method to selectively erase particular memories by weakening the connections between the nerve cells. Another great video by UCLA. You know, these breakthroughs are real. We're not just studying memory anymore. We're editing it. This is Janet. She survived a car accident that killed her best friend Megan. She wakes up every night hearing the crash. She can't drive, can't sleep, can't just let it go. Janet made a simple mistake that cost more than the life of her friend. It cost her any peace of mind that she ever had. Janet's stuck in that moment forever. But then she hears about a clinical trial. 1 pill, 1 injection, no more pain. But what happens when that grief, that guilt, that moment, the thing that shaped how she lives, who she loves, who she trusts, is suddenly just gone? If she forgets that day, does she forget her friend? Does she forget who she became in the aftermath? Now let's stretch this out a bit and ask a few questions. What if it's not just PTSD or trauma? What if heartbreak becomes a concern you'd like to get rid of? You could delete the memory of an ex, block out the fight that led to the end of a good friendship. What if we could erase the memories of criminals and what they did? And what about governments being able to edit collective memory? You see, it's the history of memory that shapes the world we live in. And if memory becomes currency, then who controls the bank? Here's the thing. We didn't survive this long because we're strong. We survived this long because we remember. Memory let us pass down knowledge. What berries are poisonous, where the predators hide, which leaders to trust. Around the fire, we shared the stories that taught us how to live and how not to make the same mistake twice. If we wipe out every painful lesson, do we lose the chance to grow? Our scars remind us of where we've been and what not to repeat. So, would you erase your worst memory? Or is it the price we pay for being human? Let me know in the comments. Would you take the pill or live with the scar?